All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, 𝗪𝗧𝗏, and as always, we're going to be diving into the market slightly, but more so, I'm going to go over, I believe it's 8 or 9 ecosystems with nodes either here or upcoming that I think you should keep an eye on. Obviously, we all love the gains that these gaming tokens have been giving us, and boy, have they been giving us those gains. We love to see it, but at the same time, nodes give you that passive mechanism to earn these tokens on the back end. And then if that token 10x's into the next cycle, it's DCAing for you basically daily. So we're going to go over some of the best node ecosystems in this show. Without further ado, let's get in the game. And as always, like the video, guys, and subscribe to the channel down below for more every single day and week here on the In the Game channel, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, solely dedicated crypto gaming channel on YouTube. And also shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have DreamsQuest, Ultra, Vulcan Forge, Seedify, Amino Rewards, 𝗏𝗏𝗏, Redato, Organia, as well as XCAD Network. I mean, we are absolutely stacked with quality sponsors at this moment in time, and I have to give a shout out to them all, as well as our exchange partners down in the link in the description. If you are looking for an exchange to trade on, you can find it there in the description. And first, before we jump into anything, I want to say on the last show, we said there was a next leg up coming, and that's exactly what happened. We said that Honeyland was a great buy. This thing is up 26% just over the last 24 hours. Kaneko, one of our calls last week, underneath the Sol ecosystem, up another 20%. It's hitting new all-time highs. Solana's at $94. So, things could change by the time this does drop. But at the same time, like, the market is absolutely printing at the moment, and that next leg up was predictable in my opinion. So we will see where we go from here. I am still pretty bullish in the short term with the ETF news that just keeps lingering out there on social media. So we'll see what comes of that. But today we're not here to really talk about the best buys in the market. While I will say I'm bullish on every single project and their tokens that are in this video, today we're going to talk about nodes. So nodes, a lot of people ask me about this. Is it worth getting the node or is it worth just stacking the token? And I think if you have the capital to do so, both is a good option, because if you put liquidity into a node, your liquidity is locked, but you're getting those daily yields of these tokens, which you could basically treat as a DCA. And then once we hit the bull run of 2024, 2025, those tokens are going to appreciate and you're going to have a stack to play with at that point in time. But if you go all in on nodes, you're not going to have any tokens on the side to potentially be able to take profits as you go, right? You'll kind of just be waiting on that ROI. But personally, I run multiple nodes in a lot of these ecosystems between 𝗫𝗓 and a few of the others I'm going to list here. But and this is in no order, no strength or like my favorites, nothing like that. But I'm just giving you some of the major node plays out there so you can take a look, do your own research. And if it's a fit for you to park some money in a node and let it yield for you passively, you have all of the alpha to do so. So number one here that we're going to talk about is 𝗫𝗓. So I did the calculation here. 𝗫𝗓 nodes are printing 1,900 tokens about per day per node. That's about $20 a day. Like, pretty solid if you're going to be able to print $600 a month of 𝗫𝗓 tokens just by running a singular node. So because of the price appreciation, this has become a much higher reward mechanism in the 𝗫𝗓 ecosystem. If you look here, it literally is just daily rewards. You download the 𝗫𝗓 node software, or you can run them through a VPS service, which runs them for you. So there's no downtime. You're getting the max tokens that you possibly can every single time. You can do that as well. So 𝗫𝗓 nodes are one that I'm a huge fan of. They did recently increase the price because the demand's getting higher. There's less nodes available, and the price of 𝗫𝗓 is appreciating. So these things are now premium. These things are harder to get your hands on because of that higher price. But I think 𝗫𝗓 nodes are one of the best ways to get set up in the node ecosystem. And this will really show you the power of it, because these are printing $20 a day. Now, to a whale, 20 bucks a day, whatever. But if you're a whale, you stack up 10 of these things, that's $200 a day. You head into the next bull, 𝗫𝗓 is $1 billion market cap project potentially, and that's $2,000 a day. Okay, so you see the power of compounding these things and the appreciation they can have heading into the next cycle. Number two here would be playable games. Playable, I mean, we called this one out notoriously before this major run. It's still up about 8 or 9x since we called it out here on the channel and made our entry. But let's say you've taken profits from some of these gaming coins and you maybe want some exposure into a node ecosystem. Playable games is a fantastic one, especially if you feel like you don't want to chase this big run. Now, personally speaking, I think that there's a lot more to come for playable. 35 million circulating, 380 on the fully diluted. It's still undervalued versus the likes of a lot of different studio projects. So I still think bull has a lot to run in the complete bull market. No pun intended, of course. But at the same time, if you are, let's just say, shy to want to, chase after the pump, which is understandable. Like, despite I'm very bullish, I think it can go to a couple 100 million circulating market cap, personally speaking, which would be another 5 to 10x from here. And that would be 100x from our entry. But when you look at the nodes, I think provide a pretty unique opportunity here. Let's go to nodes. And they print about 1,066 tokens per day. Now, the nodes here do not print as much as far as dollar amounts. So you aren't making 20 bucks a day here. You're making about $7, $8 a day here, but it still compounds over time. $8 a day, 30 days, that's 240 bucks a month. And then if this thing 5, 10x's, that's 1,000 or more per month. So you're seeing the power of that in these ecosystems. And I do think playable and 𝗫𝗄 currently, out of nodes that are active, are two of the best ecosystems to potentially look at buying nodes in if you are wanting that passive yield on the back end. And TLDR and disclosure, I do run both. I run 𝗫𝗄 nodes, multiple, and I run multiple playable games nodes because I see it as just a fantastic play to get you exposure in these ecosystems. Number three is XAI. XAI is a newer one here. They're blockchain games developed for the masses. They are backed by tons of quality projects and they have Sentry nodes. These things are currently yielding at the moment. These are new. US investors, you're out of luck. I don't even have one of these, for example. So I know a lot of people that are using these. Some of them had trouble setting them up, but once you have it set up, I've heard that they're printing pretty nicely. And the metrics behind these were strong, as we see here. 500,000 users, over 13 million in node sales. And this is just in their first month of launch. So this is one, keep your eyes on. If you're not in the US, I would take a look at this ecosystem for nodes. Or if you have a KYC somewhere else, then I think this is definitely a good play. XAI Games. Number 4 is Vulcan Forge. Vulcan Forge, obviously one of my favorite projects in the entire space. They have their own blockchain. They have their own games. They have games coming to build with their ecosystem. So the Elysium chain is going to see a lot of action over the next few years. The reason why I'm still bullish on Vulcan and 𝗫𝗄 is when Metascapes goes live, their world builder, when there are other games that are building on Elysium, they're transacting daily. Guess what? Node owners earn off the fees of the blockchain. So this just makes complete sense to me. And Vulcan Forge's ecosystem is only going to continue to grow. Jamie and the team over there are doing a fantastic job of keeping this thing steamrolling forward. TLDR once again, I own a node here. I also run a node for my NFT project, but the nodes here are pretty pricey. I believe it's 2,000 𝗫𝗄 to lock, and that's about 12 grand. So this one is a little bit more on the pricey side. I think it will pay off, but due to the appreciation of the 𝗫𝗄 token, this one has gotten a little more expensive. But I do think running a 𝗫𝗄 node, if you have the capital to do so, could pay off very nicely. Next one up on the list is the Cornucopias nodes. These just recently went live. And if you see here, they did a little overview of the node sale. And I have the file pulled up here. They were selling these at the lowest end in tier 1 at $270. At the highest end, they're $1,000. You have to own 3,000 𝗂𝗍 to run the node. That's about, at the current token price, a little over $300 worth of tokens. So not too bad at all. And this thing right here is called a file node. So they're very different than the normal nodes. I am looking in to pick one up here. They have it on Cardano but I'm looking forward to the Ethereum sale. So this is one I'm also probably planning to pick up some nodes in this ecosystem. And once it goes to the Ethereum round here, there's 20,000 nodes, and this is the private sale. I plan on getting involved here with the Cornucopia nodes. I talked to the team about these. I think they have some pretty good upside potential, just personally speaking. And then there's 3 that aren't live yet. 3 node ecosystems that have not gone live that I think you should keep your eyes out for. Number 1, GameSwift. GameSwift, one of our favorite projects here. We brought this thing to you here on the channel at 5 cents. Okay, 5 cents. And this thing has ripped. It's a 12x this year, almost a 13x at this moment in time. It's touching new all-time highs pretty frequently. But if you feel like you've missed that, then this ecosystem is about to release their nodes. They have games, they have their launcher, they have an SDK, they have their own blockchains, they run for games, and then you're going to be able to earn on the back end if you run a GSwift node. We don't have too many details on this one yet, but I think we will in the short term know a lot more about what's to come for the GameSwift nodes. Next one on the list, and this is a no-brainer. If you can get your hands on these, do it. And that's the off the grid, the Gunzilla nodes. I worked with a VC. I got my hands on a couple, for example, to get those, and it's in pre-sale, private sale right now. These are not easy to get, and they're not publicly available. They will be publicly available at some point where you will be able to get your hands on these. I would absolutely run these. People can stake through the nodes. The players can play through your node, and it's just a really well-rounded system here with the off-the-grid Gunzilla node. It comes with guns tokens locked into the node. This is one I'm definitely bullish on, and I did get my hands on in an early stage. And then last but certainly not least, shrapnel nodes. We had a lot of questions last week about the shrapnel nodes, or on the last show I mentioned that these nodes are going to go live for sale soon. I don't know the exact date. They're not tradable yet, guys, so don't go out there and find some scam link and try to buy these. These are not available to the public yet. I believe they're going to be around $2,000 per node. But I think the shrapnel nodes are going to be a really good play. They come with a certain amount of shrap as well locked into it. And then the more people that play on maps that are hosted on your node, the more than you earn on the back end. So, long story short, I kind of look at my investments in different baskets, right? I got my tokens. I have long-term plays and I have short-term plays as far as where I'm looking to take profits, right? I'm not taking profits on my Bitcoin bag for a long time, my Ethereum, my Solana even. Like, we're going to let those things appreciate. I'm not in any hurry. I'm going to wait till the next cycle fully plays out, and I will take profits off those big tokens. But the smaller market cap stuff is also a different basket, right? I'm going to actively take profits because you never know what can happen to a small market cap project. So that's one basket is my tokens, long-term and short-term. But then I have NFTs, and I have a decent NFT portfolio with a lot of these different projects, and especially gaming projects, like when you look across the board, there's a lot of quality gaming NFTs out there. We just saw Overworld mint. They're currently at like an 18x or something. I had to do the quick math in my head. I think they're at an 18x from mint price just last week. So you see the power in those gaming NFTs right now. And then that last bucket is nodes. So I got tokens, NFTs, and nodes. And I look at them as completely different investment styles. Nodes are long-term. You need to be able to stack those things up, stack those tokens, let them appreciate into the next cycle. You have your long and short-term crypto trades and portfolio, and then you have your NFTs. And I would only advise trading or buying NFTs that you genuinely enjoy. Like, this is not the market to just go whitelist mint every single thing that comes across your desk, because honestly, gaming projects, it might be the meta to just mint everything at the moment because they're doing really well. But nodes are their own basket for me. And I've been stacking nodes between 𝗫𝗓, between Playable. I'm going to try to get my hands on one of these XAI ones. I have a Vulcan Forge one. I'm going to plan to get involved with the Cornucopia nodes, and I'm definitely getting involved in GameSwift, guns, and shrapnel nodes. So those are some of the best node ecosystems that I have my eye on. Obviously, Gala has nodes, but they're super expensive, guys. Like, at this point in time, Gala nodes are most likely out of 90% of people's price range. So that's why I didn't bring it up here. Obviously, they pay homage to Gala. They were one of the first ecosystems in gaming to have nodes, and they crushed it. And that's another thing. Gala node holders that bought before last bull, really made a killing. So get in front of these things and you're going to have a stack of tokens yielding passively that I think you're really going to be able to capitalize on heading into the next cycle. And a quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors here. XCAD Network has been working diligently in the background, and they still have the XCAD Play, the watch to earn platform. That is still out there. You can yield the token, etc. But they're really focused. If you remember, I showed a graphic a couple weeks ago. XCAD was number 6 in SocialFi. Well, XCAD Social here is now official. You can launch a key. You can buy keys to your favorite creators. It is very similar to FriendTech, but they have done something unique. It removes some of there's like percentage discounts, and it goes back to the creator, goes back to the buyer. Like, they have done some really cool things here. The point system with your keys. So XCAD Social, if you are tired of FriendTech or you're not using FriendTech, drop in the link down below and earn some points on XCAD Social. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to make an account. I'm going to play with it and just see what's going on. They've been an awesome sponsor here on the show. So if you were into SocialFi, this is an early mover. They literally just launched this week, to my understanding. So check this out if you have some time. As well, I need to give a shout out to Amino Rewards. Drew and the team, they're one of my favorite teams in all of crypto. They're working really hard on the back end. And I think eventually the AMO token is going to reflect that in price and market cap. But what I'm looking at right now is, like when you just see the 10-day streak, the 49-day challenge with the San Francisco 49ers, you see here, they have the 10-day streak. You get a gift card to the Niners shop. And this is 10,000 steps for this many days. So there's a sweepstakes. The winners of each of these, there'll be a drawing, and one person is going to win each of these prizes. 25 days of 10,000 steps. You have an exclusive 49ers playoff experience. And then if you go all 49 days of the challenge and you walk 10,000 steps every day, you have the chance to win 49ers season tickets for 2024-2025. So go check out that in the Amino Rewards app down below, the Amino Move app, and get in that challenge. I'm doing it, but I don't do 10,000 steps a day, man. I'm a crypto gaming guy. I ain't doing 10,000 steps a day, but you should be. And I might try to step up my game here and get involved. Maybe get that playoff experience or something like that. But guys, like the video and subscribe if you're bullish on crypto gaming, if you are bullish on nodes, if you're bullish on the metaverse, NFTs. This is the place to be. Subscribe down below. We still want to hit 90K before the end of the year. We got 10 days. Okay. It's not a quota, but it's my personal quota. 90K before the end of the year. Subscribe, like. I'll be back with another video. As always, play well, my friends.